Good day, everyone, and welcome to our math class. Our topic for today is about trigonometric ratio. So, fourth quarter is all about trigonometry. So, the first thing we have to do now is to define what is trigonometry. Based on livescience.com, so this is the definition that I got from this website. Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies relationships between the sides and angles of triangles. So, ibig sabihin, kapag sinabi nating trigonometry, so it focuses on triangles. And specifically, so the connection between the side and then the angles of triangles. So, all throughout the fourth quarter, so we're going to talk about trigonometry. And ang ma-encounter natin na shape dito is puro triangle. Based on the like etymology. So the word trigonometry is a 16th century Latin derivative from the Greek words. So trigonon, meaning triangle, and then metron, which is measure. So measurement of a triangle. So that is trigonometry. We have here a right triangle, and this is a preliminary topic. So before we proceed to the actual topic, which is trigonometric ratio, so we are going to identify first the parts of a right triangle. So this part, or the parts that we're going to talk about, this will be with respect to our topic, the trigonometric ratio. So here we have a right triangle, and of course, so how do we know that this one is a right triangle? So we have here a label. So this label means that this angle is a right angle. Since we have a right angle in a triangle, so we can conclude now that this triangle is a right triangle. So before we identify the parts of a right triangle with respect to our topic, trigonometric ratio, so we need to have a given angle first. So let's have a given angle. So the given angle here is, so we're going to name this as theta. So this is a Greek letter, theta. So this is the most common symbol for an angle. So these are the parts of right triangle. So we have here opposite side, side opposite the given angle. So, meaning to say, pag sinabi nating opposite side, ito yung binabanggit ko na kailangan meron tayo munang given angle. Kasi kapag wala tayong given angle, we will not be able to identify kung ano yung opposite side. Kasi pag sinabi nating opposite side, this will be the side opposite to the given angle. So, since ito yung given angle natin, so, ang opposite side niyan ay ito. So, itong part na to. So, AC. And then next one is adjacent side. So pag sinabi naman natin adjacent side, so this is the side next to the given angle. So ang adjacent side natin dito ay itong BC. So pag sinabi natin adjacent, so yung side na katabi ng angle. So ito yung, or next to the angle. So ngayon magtataka kayo, di ba pwede rin naman na ang side next to the given angle is AB. So yung AB, so we have a special or we have a particular name for that. So that is what we call the hypotenuse. So kahit katabihan ng angle, so we cannot consider that as the adjacent side. Ang adjacent side natin dito ay yung BC or yung CB. Ang hypotenuse, so this is a very specific name for a right triangle. So this is the longest side in a right triangle. Now, so how are we going to determine if the given is the hypotenuse or the longest side in a right triangle? So kapag hypotenuse, so ito lagi ay always opposite to the given right angle. So kung ano man yung side na katapat ng right angle, so ito yung right angle natin, ang katapat niyan ay AB. So kung ano man yung katapat ng right angle, yun yung hypotenuse. So therefore, yung AB ay yung hypotenuse. So again, so opposite side, so katapat ng given angle, so opposite, so katapat, so opposite side. And then adjacent side, yung CB, so katabi ng angle. And of course, hypotenuse. So yung pinakamahabang side in a right triangle. So which is always opposite or lagi katapat nung right angle. Now, so the question is, lagi bang ito yung adjacent side? Lagi bang ito yung opposite side? So lagi bang ito yung hypotenuse? In terms of hypotenuse, so hindi yan nababago. Okay, so laging yan yung hypotenuse. But, or laging yan katapat ng right angle. So, but yung adjacent at saka opposite side, so it could be interchange. So, paano mangyayari yun? So, kapag nagbago yung given angle, or sa iba na ilagay yung given angle, so mag-iiba rin yung opposite at saka adjacent. So, ito yung original. So, nasa angle B yung given. So, what if ilagay natin dito yung given angle? Will still be, or this side ba ay mananatiling opposite? Ito ba ay mananatiling adjacent? So, hindi na. Okay, since ito na yung given angle, so this one, since ayan na yung katapat niya, so this will be the opposite side. And this one will be the adjacent side. So, magpapalit po yan. So, this will be the opposite side dahil nagbago yung ating given angle. And this will be our adjacent side. So, you have to remember na hindi laging fixed yung opposite at saka adjacent. Ang fixed lang dyan na yung hypotenuse. Okay? Kasi lagi yung katapat ng right angle. So, that's why we have to be observant kung nasaan yung location ng angle. So, yung adjacent, opposite, at saka hypotenuse, so magagamit natin yan later in trigonometric ratio. Now, so let's have another preliminary topic. So, Pythagorean Theorem. So, magagamit natin tong Pythagorean Theorem kasi in trigonometric ratio, kailangan lahat ng side ay given or makuha. Ngayon, so there are times na merong missing side sa right triangle. For example, yung B ay given, yung C ay given, and then yung A ay hindi given. So kapag hindi given yung A, so we will not be able to look for the sixth trigonometric ratio, which is our topic later yan. So that's why we have to know Pythagorean Theorem. Kasi yung Pythagorean Theorem, so this will be our solution or ito yung magiging sagot para mahanap natin yung missing side ng isang right triangle. So right after that, kapag kompleto na yung sides, so we can find all the six trigonometric ratio. So what is the meaning of Pythagorean or Pythagorean theorem? So this theorem states that the sum of the squares of the two sides of a right triangle is equal to the square of its hypotenuse. So if we're going to translate this statement into an equation, so ito po yung magiging equation niyan. So actually, kung medyo nahihirapan kayong intindihin tong statement, so just focus here in the equation or formula. Ito po yung formula na gagamitin natin for Pythagorean theorem or Pythagorean theorem. Now, so the formula is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Ngayon, itong mga letrang to, so it depends on the label of a right triangle. So it just happened that we have here A, B, and C as our sides. So itong A, B, C, ayan yung tatlong sides ng right triangle. But pwede yang mag-iba-iba. So it depends on the label. Ngayon, para madali nyo matandaan, ang C natin dito, kung mapapansin nyo, yan yung hypotenuse natin. So in Pythagorean theorem, yung formula, so kung ano yung hypotenuse, yun lagi yung isolated. So ibig sabihin, lagi yun yung nag-iisa or yung solong part. And then yung dalawang side, so we have to add the squares of those. So whatever the hypotenuse is, yun lagi ang solo. Okay, sa isang side. So, and then yung dalawang side, so laging magkasama yan. Okay. Now, meron tayong tinatawag na Pythagorean triples. So actually, para maiwasan nyo na yung part ng solving, itong part, so you can search in the internet yung Pythagorean triples. So itong Pythagorean triples, ito yung tatlong numbers na combination na side ng right triangle. So I will give you an example. Ang another example is 3, 4, 5. So actually itong 8, 15, and 17 is also part of Pythagorean triple. Ngayon, paano magiging madali yun? Kasi kapag na-memorize nyo or alam nyo yung Pythagorean triple, so ito kasi yung combination eh. So 8, 15, and 17 is one of the combination. For example, nakita nyo na ang given ay 8 and then 17. Ang 17 ay yung hypotenuse. Ngayon, malalaman nyo dahil part ng Pythagorean triple yung 8, 15, and 17. So malalaman nyo na kapag ang given lang ay 8 and then 17 as hypotenuse. So we know that the missing part is 15. So another Pythagorean triple is 9, 40, and then 41. So 9 and 40 are the two sides and then yung 41 is the hypotenuse. Ngayon, kung ang given sa problem, for example, is 9 and then 40 as the sides and then hinahanap yung hypotenuse, since alam niyo na yung Pythagorean triple, so without solving, alam niyo na ang hypotenuse ay 41. So kindly search that in the internet so para mas mapadali yung pagkuha niyo ng trigonometric ratio later. So this is our main topic. So we have here the 6th trigonometric ratio. The 6th trigonometric ratio. So we have first the fundamental ratio, and then we also have the reciprocal ratios. So in fundamental ratios, we have 3, and then we also have 3 in reciprocal ratio. So the fundamental ratios composed of sine, and then we can also abbreviate that as sine, S-I-N, kasi later, kapag nag-solve na tayo ng mga trigonometric ratio or trigonometric function, so we're going to use the abbreviated name. So next one is cosine, and then the last one is the tangent. So again, these are the three fundamental ratio. So we have sine, cosine, and then tangent. So you have to memorize this. Now, so we also have the reciprocal ratio. Ngayon, kaya siya tinawag na reciprocal ratio kasi ito yung kabaliktaran nitong fundamental ratio. And then each fundamental ratio has its respective reciprocal ratio. So katulad ng sine, ang sine ay merong respective na reciprocal ratio. So you have also to remember that kung ano yung magkakapartner. Na for example, kapag sine, dapat alam niyo kung ano yung reciprocal ng sine. So ang reciprocal ng sine ay cosecant. So don't forget that kasi hindi pwedeng mag-rumble-rumble yan later. So kasi kapag na-memorize niyo yan, so it will be easier for us to look for the value of trigonometric ratio. So again, ang reciprocal ng sine is cosecant. And then ang reciprocal naman ng cosine is secant. And for the tangent, ang reciprocal niyan ay cotangent. And these are the 6 trigonometric ratios. So all throughout the fourth quarter, so lagi niyo yan maririnig or may encounter.